Hello guys, and welcome here to the Jello Cup Series. This is race, I believe, number 13 here today from the Phoenix International Raceway. It is race 2 of the weekend here. Of course, this weekend is doubleheader weekend here at Phoenix, the first of 3 on the Jello Cup Series schedule. Anyway, let's get going. Starting on the pole today will be Max Anderson in the number 11, and 2 is outside. And that's going to be the number 41 of Nicholas Jawit. And of course, keep in mind, the starting lineup today was determined by, or positions 1 through 20 were inverted based on their finishing results. And of course, Max Anderson, he finished in 20th, so that puts him on the pole. Yesterday's winner, the upset winner, Mitzi Kasumi, she will start in 20th. And then of course positions 21 through 40, they are determined based on where everyone finished yesterday. So if you finished 21st or worse yesterday, that's where you start today. Anyway, we're ready to get going here. We're going to kick off the second leg of this first doubleheader of season number 7. But let's get going. Let's roll the intro, and we'll be back with your starting lineup here on GCN in just a moment. Your GCN presentation starts right now. Here we go, the starting lineup. It's going to be on the left-hand side of your screen. Again, keep in mind positions 1 through 20 were inverted for today. 21 through 40 remain the same from yesterday's results. Some guys going to have a lot of work to do. Others benefited from finishing outside of the top 10 yesterday. We'll see what happens though as we get going into turns 3 and 4. Max Anderson, Nicholas Jawit, the green flag is out. The second race of our doubleheader is underway. We keep it clean lap 1, Max Anderson the leader. One thing I did forget to mention, of course, I think it's kind of self-explanatory. The go or go homers from yesterday's race are in today's race. Of course, if you missed the race yesterday, you will not be in today's race. So my apologies. I'm sure you noticed that in the starting lineup, but just thought I would mention that. Of course, that's a big detail I forgot to mention. Man, these guys are racing close here in the early stages of the race. Of course, after today, we go to Las Vegas. That'll wrap up the West Coast swing. Then we have our double points race at Charlotte before we head off to Darlington for what I believe will be throwback weekend. Or throwback race rather. And then of course Daytona will be race number 17. One thing I didn't mention, of course, the All-Star race is coming up very soon. Look for details on that probably this week. I've just been so busy. I'm actually recording the day before this race is premiering, so bear with me guys, I apologize for that. That Ohio trip really threw my time off, or my timing off, rather. So please bear with me as you see Max Anderson, Giorgio Stumu first, second. Looks like another Western New York Auto Sport car trying to battle for third. That's Austin Shaw in the Jordan colors. He's trying to get around the 78 and will do so, it looks like, for now. But here comes Keith Stevens. These go-or-go homers are really having an impact in today's race. Of course, keep in mind Austin Shaw just outside of the top 33. He's trying to climb back in. So far doing a good job to ensure that he might just do so. Keith Stevens up to third. Let's check in on yesterday's winner, Mitzi Kasumi. And she is just not having a good day here today. She has fallen back from 20th to 31st at the start of this race. Never something you want to see here in these kinds of races. She's just struggling, falling back big time here. How's about yesterday's runner-up? That would be the number 4 of Zach Fitzwater. On the other side, he's climbing the running order right now. Of course, Zach Fitzwater always pretty strong here at Phoenix. I would say this is a track that suits him very well. He is battling for that 11th position, by the way. We'll see if he can get there. Another guy this track kind of suits is Dylan Young, who's up here in 10th. And trying to hold off the 4 while battling with the 3. Now here goes the 4. He knows he's got a strong car today. Oh, 3 wide into the corner, and I think Fitzwater's going to get the position. Well, both of them, he's going to go 2 for 1 and move up to 9th. For now, as Dylan Young is battling back to that outside. But I think Fitzwater's going to complete the pass here, and he's going to go 2 for 1 in a lap. He's moving up the grid. Keep an eye on him. Of course, it is a long race. He's got plenty of time to get to the front. Up front, though, it is Max Anderson. He struggled last season, but he's leading the race here today. Moving from Penske to Gibbs has certainly benefited him, it looks like. And look at this, he's expanding his lead on that 65 of Giorgio Stumu. And Giorgio Stumu having a good weekend so far. He was running pretty decently early on yesterday. Today he's running in second. Again, Western New York Auto Sport has kind of struggled this season. Dan Hummel does have a win, but they really haven't made much headway in the points. As you see, the 34 going to use the door to complete the pass for second. But again, you got to imagine or wonder when it's going to be Western New York Auto Sports Day when it comes to points. They find victory lane, but they can't find points. And we mentioned the 4 moving up the running order. He's now up to 8th. Imagine if he leaves here with a runner-up and a win. It would be a huge points day for the 4 team if they can do just that. Of course, as we mentioned, we have 2 double headers coming up soon as well. 19 and 20 are at Atlanta. That's going to be a little bit of a different doubleheader because one will be under the lights on Saturday and the other one will be in the daytime on Sunday, so a short turnaround. And then the next doubleheader we've got is 2 races after that, races 23 and 24 at Pocono, right before the playoffs. That's a huge doubleheader weekend. Probably the closest one we'll ever get to the playoffs, and that's going to be a scary one for some of these guys. As you see, Keith Stevens slowly but surely closing in on that 11. Here on lap 17, there's a battle for third. But it looks like the 00 won't be able to complete it. That's Maureen Tayami in the number 00. She's been having some surprisingly good runs of late. See there, the top 10, or really the top 9, have broken away. As you see, pit stops occurring. And that'll leave the 65, the 4, and the 2 on track. And the 65 will get a lap led. And here we go, 65 is in, the 4 is in, the 2 is in. As well as the rest of these guys. Oh, the 43 makes a late commitment, but they'll make it. I believe that'll leave Daniel Bouchard out to lead the race. Maybe. It's a 3-car battle here. Roberto Crown is in this battle. And yes, Daniel Bouchard will lead the lap. Tim Horton second. Roberto Crown Jr. rounds out the top 3 now. As you see the 07 looking inside. And he'll pit. So Bouchard is going to stay out the longest. You gotta wonder, is this going to help or hurt them later in the race? And there comes the 5. You see some of those leaders battling now. This is for the presumptive race lead. We'll see if the 5 beats him off. I don't think he will. No, he's still pitting, so that's going to hand the lead to Max Anderson. And Max Anderson will reclaim the race lead, but not without a challenge. He's got the 34 right on the back bumper. And Keith Stevens side by side. He'll take the race lead away. As the top 2 have distanced themselves. See the 11 going high, but it's not going to help. You see the real battles going on behind. And Fitzwater's dropping some positions. He was up in 3rd, I believe, 3rd or 4th. And he's trying to hold on to 5th now. So you gotta wonder if that 4 team not liking the adjustments that were made on that stop. The 11 is blown up. Max Anderson, his day is done. He is blown up, second place out of the race. Tough break for Max Anderson. This is not what he wanted to see. And never the way you want to end a race. But of course, keep in mind, this is a double header. 263 lap races, 126 laps total. That's a lot of wear and tear on the engines. That's a little over 40% of the normal race here, but that is such wear and tear on that engine. Just a heartbreak for him, not what he wanted to see end his race, as Dylan Young is battling for second right now with Giorgio Stumu. And Stumu's going to hang on. Keep in mind, it's a 3-second lead right now for Keith Stevens. And now it's over a 3-second lead. I'll tell you, the Ford camp has looked very strong here this weekend. Of course, yesterday was a battle between Mitzi Kasumi and Zach Fitzwater. Today, as you see Dylan Young trying to complete the pass for second, it could very well be a battle between him and Keith Stevens if he can get up there. And keep in mind, it's been a little bit since Dylan Young has won. Of course, he's battling up front, I believe, in the points as well. Keep in mind, Dylan Young has had quite a bit of heartbreak in the past. Oh, is something wrong with the 65? It appears there is an issue with the 65, an unscheduled pit stop. And now he has a problem, and that'll take him likely out of the running here today. Let's see if we have a helmet cam. The gears are working, but I'm wondering what happened. We'll find out in a moment. What a turn of events here as we're closing in on the halfway mark. The man who led early out of the race with an engine issue, the guy who started in third or fourth, he's now out with another issue. Keith Stevens, a go or go homer, is leading the race. And it was reported as a camshaft issue for the 11. Not exactly sure what's wrong with the 65, but he is still on the pit lane. Oh no, wait, he's out and away. He was way too slow for that to be a scheduled pit stop. So it had to be an issue, maybe a vibration on the 65. You see there, a lapped car is battling with the two of Dylan Young. That's Tim Randolph. And keep in mind, he is in the points battle for the regular season championship. But Dylan Young is in the battle for the win. And this is going to hurt Dylan Young. He loses a tenth that lap. And he's got to be saying, come on, man, you're hurting me. As the 47 gets around. Of course, if this race stays green, does Dylan Young have the last lap? Keep in mind, he stayed out longer than the 34. And the 5, he stayed out way longer than everybody else. So Daniel Bouchard could be the one that has the last lap if this race stays green. Of course, a caution could throw a wrench in everybody's strategy. And we will see what and if that'll happen. 34 is in. The 2 will stay out, along with the 4 of Zach Fitzwater. We'll see, does the 2 come in this time? He does not. The 4 and others are going to come in. Maybe Dylan Young's trying to ensure that he can make it to the finish. I think he's coming in this time. He is. The battle for second. And this is actually now the battle for the lead. And you see the 5 will get the race lead away. Boy, would a caution change things right now. Here they come. Looks like the undercut will not pay off, or the overcut will not pay off for the 2. And you see right there, he's going to have a battle with the 65 coming off the pit lane. Looks like he'll be fine. The caution comes out. Mohammed Zain Abdullah, he's going to battle to keep his lap here. But a caution here changes everything. Let's go see what happened. I'm no expert, but there's gonna be some unhappy teammates after this. The 2 Roush guys get into it. The 6 spins out his teammate. Michael Collins spins out Casey Horton. And of course, Casey Horton drifting through here. I imagine he will have some harsh words for veteran teammate Michael Collins. But it looks like that's all that suffered, is just a drift. Kind of not a good reason for a caution, but hey, I mean, I guess if you can't see down the front or the back stretch, makes sense. Let's take you back to the green. Some interesting strategy being played. The 34, he cycled out to be the race leader, and right before we go back green, he pits. Is this a short pit? Because if we stay green, this could very well benefit Keith Stevens. If it goes under caution, though, this could be a burn on the 34 team. But Dylan Young, Tyler Faden, Alexander Rowe, Nick Martins, and Daniel Bouchard. That is your top 5. As we get back to the Geico restart zone, the green flag waves were back underway at Phoenix. And Dylan Young gets a launch on the restart. Of course, you saw all those guys out of the race. Something happened under the caution. Unfortunately, I didn't get it, so my apologies. But Scott Upton going to finish up a bad doubleheader weekend for himself. And look at the battle for the lead that's on now. It's Tyler Faden, Dylan Young. Tyler Faden is the only Faden that has never won at the Jello Cup Series level. He's feeling the pressure here today to do so. And right behind them, a former Jello Cup Series champion in Alexander Rowe. He wants to get the win. And of course proved that that championship was no fluke. Of course, one guy the caution did not benefit. The guy in 12th, that's Zach Fitzwater. He's got some ground to make up, but he's got a fast car. We'll see if he can at least salvage a good day out of it. I don't think it's going to be a winning day by any stretch of the imagination for the 2-team. Or for the 4-team, rather, but at least they can salvage a good points day and put themselves well ahead of that top 33 margin. Battle for second. Alexander Rowe. Tyler Faden. Again, Alexander Rowe has not won since his championship season. And he wants to prove that that was no fluke, especially with the new team at Beaver Don Racing. Oh, he had a bad turn 3 and 4, and that's going to put Maureen Tayami on his outside. But it looks like that's going to be settled. There's some smoke over here on the front stretch, but it looks like it didn't bring out a caution. Top 5 all under a blanket right now. Up ahead is the 47 of Tim Randolph, and he could very well have a say in how this race finishes. Lap 51 now. And the battle for the lead is on. Here goes the one of Tyler Faden. He looks to the inside. He wants the lead. Dylan Young is battling hard to that outside to keep it. The caution is out, by the way. So this is racing back to the line for the race lead. And this might just hurt the 34 on pit strategy. So he just got burned. Dylan Young, the leader. We'll see if he pits. But we're staging up for a late race restart here. And the pressure is on for the driver from Florida. The 4 is going to stay out. As well as about 5 or 6 others. This changes a lot. Big time gamble. It looks like the 53 is the reason for the caution, by the way. And the 2 is just going to top it off with fuel. They have enough gas to get to the end. The 29 takes tires. He is going to get burned on this strategy. As the 2 will win the race off. Let's go see what happened. 2 veterans of the series get together. Tim Horton sends the 3 up the track into the wall. And a tough break for him, but this is not the end of this wreck, of course. You see the 3 up high, trying not to slide down. He does. And unfortunately, the 53, too high up the track, Sebastian Bennett slams into the back of the 3, and then Mitchell Collins, of course, catches a big piece of that wreck, ending all 3 of their days. A tough break for these 3. We'll take you back to the green in just a moment. We are getting ready for the restart here. You see all the cars out of the race. Both JTG Doherty cars suffering a bad day here. Mills and Randolph there. Tough break for them. And now we entered the part of the race with the big question mark of who has enough fuel to make it to the finish. As it's going to be Zach Fitzwater, Michael Collins, Nicholas Jawid, Austin Shaw, and Diego Yepes, yesterday's pole sitter, in 5th. Then you've got Keith Stevens, who's led most of the race in 6th as we're back underway. And what a launch for the 4, but you saw what happened with the 2 the last time that happened. Could this end up hurting Zach Fitzwater? And it might just hurt him. Here comes the 6, Michael Collins. But he'll hang on. And here's the part of the race where it may just replay in his head. What could possibly go wrong here? It went wrong yesterday. I couldn't hold off a late charge from the 52. What do I do today to prevent the 6 from taking this race from me? That's got to be playing in his head right now. As here comes the 48 of Austin Shaw. Another guy. Oh, the 48 gets loose in front of the 6. And now he'll have to set up to try to get around Nicholas Jawid. Now does Nicholas Jawid play a good teammate here and block these 2? Or does he try to go for the win himself? And he's not going to be able to hold off a charge from Austin Shaw. Here comes the 48. And now the 48 in striking distance. It's going to be a battle between 2 of the guys who have commentated probably the most races here on GCN, or co-commentated the most races here on GCN. Austin Shaw and Zach Fitzwater. And Fitzwater has to hold him off for 4 laps. No caution is a saving grace here for the 4 team. Keep that in mind. Again, it's not like last season where there was no overtime. As you see, the battle for the lead is on. The 48, Austin Shaw. The 4, Zach Fitzwater. Side by side. Coming to 3 to go this time. Can the 48 complete the pass? And he will. Austin Shaw to the lead, but the 4 is going to have to try to mount a comeback here. See, the 41 slides high. Oh, the 4's got a pit. He doesn't have enough fuel. And now the big question mark. As we mentioned at the restart, how many guys actually have enough fuel to get to the finish? With 2 to go. Will the 48, the 41, the 6 have enough? The 41, the 6 do not. Austin Shaw might just have enough. We'll see. The white flag is out this time. 1 lap of racing to go. And it won't be the final lap. The caution is out. Looks like the 5 of Daniel Bouchard with an incident. And we're going to have overtime. Let's go see what happened. Looks like Daniel Bouchard has a small incident here. You see, he tries to dive to the pit lane late. The 42 is already down there before Sacco. And he just collects Dick Clark, Parker Smith, And they go out into the outside wall, and then they also collect Charles Sanford, Casey Horton, Skylar Martins, Nate Rattray, and a huge wreck here in turn 2. It basically blocks the whole turn. Oh, Austin Shaw was just feet away from taking the white flag before the caution came out. And now the question is, will he be able to hang on in overtime? We will see in just a moment. Hello, welcome back. It is overtime presented by Mitchell's Memes. We will have, I believe, 3 attempts at this overtime. Of course, once the leader takes the white flag, the race is over. It's going to be Austin Shaw, Keith Stevens, Roberto Crown Jr., Tim Horton, Tyler Fade in your top 5, Dan Hummel in 6th, Dylan Young 7th, Nick Martins 8th. We're underway. 2 laps of racing to go. Again, the cars 2 or more laps down, they are done for the day. You will see that reflected in the finishing order. Here comes Joey Trickle, the Daytona 500 winner, making some moves. There's still 3 wide behind, but we're going to keep it clean as we come to the white flag this time. It's going to be 1 lap of racing to go if we make it, and we will, presented by Mitchell's Memes. Austin Shaw, he's got a little bit of an advantage right now over the 20. If he can just hang on, it'll be his first win since season 4. Here comes Roberto Crown. He's trying to make a charge. It won't be enough, but it'll be a great result for that 20 team. It is out of turn 4. Austin Shaw wins at Phoenix. Congratulations to the 48. He gets the job done. Sorry for the freezing. Oh, they wrecked behind, but we won't get a replay. My computer's having enough issues right now. I hope you guys heard most of the commentary. We want to thank you for watching. We're going to show you results and your standings. And we will be back next weekend when the Jello Cup Series takes on Las Vegas. Until then, goodbye everyone.